I love my Steam Deck. It's probably my most used tech product of the year aside from my phone, but I think it's time to let it go. And that's because Lenovo sent me their Legion Go and I've spent about a week with this, so it's finally time to share my pros and cons with you guys. Pro number one, which I think is fairly obvious, that huge screen. Now for comparison, the Nintendo Switch comes in at 7 inches, the Steam Deck comes in at 7.4 inches, and the Legion Go measures in at 8.8 inches. Now, I don't have an ROG Ally with me, but that also falls short in terms of size because that's only 7 inches. But aside from size, the Legion Go actually outspecs all of them because it also features QHD resolution plus 144Hz refresh rate, which is a far cry from what the Steam Deck offers. And the image quality is also a lot better on the Legion Go, and I think the only thing that would beat it out is the Steam Deck OLED, which I haven't gotten wife approval for just yet. But the colors are sweet on this thing, so whether it's for gaming or just crushing on your current bias, you'll definitely enjoy your time with the display on this gaming handheld. The size is definitely impressive, but because of how massive it is, that brings my first con to the table, which is its weight. By comparison, the Steam Deck is approximately 640 grams according to their website, and the Legion Go is heavier at 854 grams altogether. Does that make a difference? Yes. Yes, it does. But do you know what else makes a difference? A great internet connection. Whether it's for watching your favorite Christmas movies with your family and friends during the holidays or downloading the latest AAA titles on your gaming console, we all want that fast, reliable internet speeds na pasok din sa budget. That's where our friends from Converge come in, who have just doubled the speeds on their FiberX 1,500 peso plan from 100 Mbps to 200 Mbps, and it's really easy to apply for that as well. So if you're looking to upgrade your internet connection in time for the holidays or in time for the new year, I'll leave a link down below so you can check out the best FiberX plan for you. Now back to the video. I definitely felt the weight difference with the Legion Go, especially in handheld mode, getting fatigued a lot sooner compared to when I used the Steam Deck. Now you guys might be able to power through longer than I can, but that also gives me a nice little segue to my second pro for the Legion Go, the True Strike controllers and the built-in kickstand. I'm sure you've seen it before, but this device is the most Switch-like handheld that has ever come out, since you can remove the controllers from the base unit, which I mentioned has a pretty hefty kickstand, so you can easily prop it up on the table. Now, having that option is definitely nice given my previous statement, but I do wish that they had an accessory that can turn these into more of a controller form factor, if you know what I'm saying. Now, one of the good things about the True Strike controllers is that they have a lot of buttons that you can program to your heart's content, but there's a reason for them too, and that's going into FPS mode. You see, the right controller has a switch on the bottom and an optical sensor that, when combined with the base that already comes with each purchase, means that you don't even have to take a mouse with you. The learning curve in this mode is definitely steep, and I would say a little too much for this Tito gamer, so my potato aim got even worse. And the fact that I do tend to play more narrative-focused games means that I couldn't pick up guns or open doors when I needed to. Or at least I haven't gotten enough time to find out how or map the right buttons, so I defaulted back into a mouse and keyboard setup. But I definitely think that this is a great option if you play things like Valorant or, like the mode suggests, more FPS games rather than something like Cyberpunk. So yes, having all of these options with the True Strike controllers is fantastic, but I do have to point out some of the things that I didn't like so much. And the first is the way that it connects to the base unit itself. It's pretty easy to remove and put it back into place, but to be honest, it doesn't feel quite as secure as the one on the Switch that has a nice rail system to them. Now, I could be wrong, and time will tell if people will run into issues with wear and tear in the long run, but it just feels more secure on the Nintendo Switch and feels like it will hold up to more gamer rage. Second is the D-pad. It's just not that good, and I've heard a lot of tech YouTubers complain about them and thought that they can't be that bad, but I get it now. It's way too flush to the body and just doesn't give that nice satisfaction with other controllers I've used in the past. But anyway, let's move on to another pro, which is the power. At the core of the Legion Go is an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme, 16GB of RAM, and our unit has a 512GB SSD, which is just so much more powerful than what the Steam Deck offers, and it's extremely evident with Cyberpunk 2077, which I've gotten around to finally playing since it's good now. But anyway, let's take a look at gameplay to compare them side by side, or one after the other. First up, the Steam Deck. When I'm driving around Night City, I'm getting about low to mid 40s with dips into the 30s from time to time. Playable for me, given the context. But on the Legion Go, I was seeing more high 40s to 50s in terms of FPS. And I should point out that I was also using higher graphics on the Legion Go. So not only was I getting more consistent frame rates, but it also looked a lot better. Now for a better grasp of the numbers, I used the in-game benchmarks on both devices as well, and you can clearly see that the Legion Go blows the Steam Deck out of the water in terms of performance despite the higher settings, with an average of 71 FPS versus the 55 FPS on the Steam Deck. Now, is there a downside to all of this power? A little bit, and it's understandable, but I'll still kind of label it as a con. I'm of course talking about the fan noise. I mean, tell me you hear that. That's pretty loud. I know it's pretty close to my microphone, which is just here, but that's pretty loud. So to give it a bit of context, it's not PS4 Pro loud, but it's still very noticeable, and add to the fact that the speakers on the Legion Go aren't the best as well. Let's just say, for the best experience, I would suggest using a good pair of headphones. Now, I also can't knock the battery life on the Legion Go because let's face it, gaming devices like the Legion Go, the Steam Deck, or the Ally are rocking a lot more powerful hardware than, let's say, the Nintendo Switch. So the battery life isn't going to be stellar, but that's pretty much the norm nowadays. I think I was getting about 2 hours max on the Legion Go with Cyberpunk or Baldur's Gate 3, which is pretty good in terms of what we're seeing right now. Do I wish it was more? Yes, but that would probably mean a chunkier device, and at that point, I think you should just get a laptop. Honestly, one of the biggest complaints that I've been seeing online doesn't really have to do with the Legion Go itself, but more on Windows 11, since basically, it does treat this device more like a laptop than a handheld. And I think that's why, at least for now, the reason I'm sticking to my Steam Deck. The OS just works. To be honest, I'm pretty basic in that regard. I mean, that's the reason why I got an iPhone. iOS just works for me, and the Steam Deck just works a little bit more seamlessly for this Tito. Not that the Legion Go is wonky, but you will have a few hiccups here and there that just make me go, why? So yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. You get it. That being said, I did love my time with it, and I think it's only gonna get better with time. I'm pretty sure the folks over at Microsoft, Asus, and Lenovo are working to make the experience with handhelds much better with Windows 11. So fingers crossed that we get an update to make things work a lot smoother. So that's my take on the Lenovo Legion Go. Again, I love this device. It will only get better with time, so please, Windows, make things better for gaming handheld consoles that are running on your systems. But yeah, I love this thing, but for now, I'm sticking to my Steam Deck. But that's just me. So let me know what you think in the comment section. And again, the price for this, before I forget, the price for the Lenovo Legion Go is 50,000 pesos, or 49,995 to be exact. So that's pretty much it for me. Peace, God bless, and happy holidays, everyone.